world today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the skies over the Hammond Northshore Regional Airport, Melissa Burns, and the Simcoe Edge 540. Disappearing right into her own smoke in a bit of a modified torque over the watch for the rapid snappers. There's 1, 2, and 3, and she'll reverse it, pulling out just about 300 feet above the ground. Melissa began her adventures in flight with her grandma on a simple Cessna 150 Aerobat as a small child. She went on to become a champion rock climber in high school and attended Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, where she played, in fact, for the men's varsity soccer team. Subsequently, she started the university's first ever women's varsity team. She's always wanted to fly and refine her skills, and in 2004 participated in the U.S. National Aerobatic Championships, where she rose to the category of competition. As she now climbs high and to the right, watch her as she now handles the aircraft forward stick, forward elevator, and around she goes. In this maneuver we call the centrifuge. 2025 marks Melissa's 4th year back on the Airshow circuit after having her 2 kids, and I don't know about you, but she is just owning the sky for us here today. On top of her aerobatic flying experiences, with experience flying airlines and even up in Alaska, flying seaplanes, supported the Denali base camp and flying charter flights with the Talkeetna Air Taxi. Let's put our hands together for Melissa Burns. Up and over the top now, as she pulls back on the stick, completing this, the big stop sign in the skies, the octagon loop. This airplane has a roll rate of something +3 seconds with a rate of roll. It just takes a couple of inches on the control stick to get this thing turning around like a top. Melissa Burns, a 4-time member of the U.S. Unlimited Aerobatic Team. She's a 3-time recipient of the coveted Betty Skelton Trophy. On top of being an aerobatic performer, she's a skydiver, base jumper, wingsuit racer, airline pilot, and a mom. She's accomplished a great deal and plans to do even more. Out on the back stretch of our aerobatic airspace, watch her as she moves back on the stick once again. Watch for that 90-degree up as she rolls the airplane around to the left. And this maneuver we call the spiraling tower. With a series of high-speed snap rolls on the climb to the left, we are seeing power aerobatic flight at its finest. Let's put our hands together and make some noise for Melissa Burns. We are now going to take this opportunity to go up live to the cockpit with Melissa and see how she's doing in the skies over Hammond. Hey Melissa, it's Luke Carrico. How do you copy? Yes, indeed, live from the cockpit, Melissa Burns. She can hear you. Let's make some noise, Hammond, for Melissa and the Simcoe Edge 540. Copy that. Well, I know you got to get back to work. I'm going to tell them about what we're about to see next.
Roger that.
Melissa Burns in the Zimco Edge. Now, we are about to see something very impressive indeed. If you look out in front of us, watch as she goes underneath those ribbons. We've got a couple of poles out there on the runway. They are separated by about 70 feet or so, and about 30 feet above the ground are a set of ribbons. A bottom set and about 5 feet higher are the top set. And for Melissa Burns, she's about to be prepared for a very impressive thing indeed, because she is going to attempt to cut the ribbons between those two poles with the propeller of her airplane. This is going to be a very impressive thing indeed, because it takes a great deal of surgical precision to make it work. What I didn't tell you, she's going to try to do it while flying upside down. Let's take a look. And taking out that top ribbon with the tail of her airplane, again, only about 5 feet from the other ribbon underneath. That surgical precision indeed. Let's make some noise for Melissa Burns. Now, she is not done quite yet, because there's one more set of pink ribbons out there, the lower set. So she's going to be setting up from the left to cut these ribbons in a different mode of flight. This is going to be knife edge flight. The wings no longer creating much of any lift whatsoever, just the engine and the propeller pulling her along. Watch her as she slows the airplane down, a little bit of some left and right. Decided not to hit on that pass because she likes to do it into the and she's going to set up hot run number 2 as part of this double ribbon cut sequence. She got it. It doesn't get much better than that. Let's put our hands together, everybody, for Melissa Burns and the Zimco Edge 540. Not an easy thing to do, especially with these gusty winds we have here today, and we certainly saw it big time. Our congratulations to Melissa Burns. Melissa wants to say a very big thanks to her sponsors, to include Lightspeed Aviation and Tempest, to Sarasota Avionics, Ameritech, Aspen Avionics, her crew chief Mike Shore, her family, and those who support her team and her passion for flight. You can learn more about Melissa by visiting her online at sportsgal.com. Nearly 1-to-1 thrust ratio on this Zimco Edge, allowing her to perform maneuvers like that. That's the tail slide. And it gives Melissa and other performers who fly these types of high performance the ability just about to put it in park in one spot in the sky. A little over 350 horsepower, which may not sound like a whole ton, but for an airplane that only weighs in at about 1,200 pounds, gives this aircraft a whole lot of power and a whole lot of grab. She's going to set up for another photo pass from the left and knife edge flight. Get your cameras on this. The low altitude knife edge flyby by Melissa Burns, right past her. To our Firewalkers Pyro team. Hint, hint, wink, wink, more on that a little bit later.
Yes, he's
And there's the final pass, her wing wave, and salute to each and every one of you joining us on this tremendous day.
At 5 foot land, runway 31.
And there's the clearance from the air boss, Kelly Hudson, who cleared land on runway 31. That'll complete her performance for us today. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Louisiana, for Melissa Burns. Yeah, good stuff indeed. I gotta tell you, I had the chance to fly in some of these high-performance aerobatic airplanes. They are not built for comfort. There are no cup holders. There's no air conditioning system. There's a couple of vents. And for those like Melissa that do these types of displays, it's a full-out sprint for about 8 to 10 minutes. And they usually come back looking like they've ran maybe undertaken rather an hour and a half cardio sesh or something. Talk about a way to burn some calories. And as we stand here on Earth, we're at just, well, 1G, 1 times the force of gravity. But as Melissa and many of our pilots actually pull back on the stick, they will accelerate that force of gravity upwards often to maybe 9